is called the triangle angle sum theorem. Can I have somebody read that first little sentence there for me? Zarian, go ahead. Louder. Is 180 degrees. So no matter what shape the triangle looks like, no matter how big or how small, the interior angles of that triangle on the inside are always going to be 180 degrees. So in this picture here, if you add together angle A, angle B, and angle C, 1, 2, 3, every single time you are always going to get 180 degrees. And that is only on the interior of the triangle, the inside of the triangle. Okay, so let's use that idea. Let's do some examples. Okay, number 1 says find all of the missing angles. So I give you 2 of the angles already, and I want you to solve for this angle right here, angle 1. What do you think I should do? Darren, go ahead. And then what? Perfect. That's it. So you're taking the pieces that you already know. You're going to combine them together, and then you're going to subtract from 180. That's what it's going to give you that's left over at the end. So here's how I'm going to write it. I'm going to write 180 minus, and then in parentheses, I'm going to add together these 2 pieces, 24 and 37. That's it. So when you add 24 and 37, what do you get? Mental math. 61. Beautiful. And if you subtract 61 from 180, what do you get? 119 what? We're talking about an angle. Degrees. 119 degrees. And that's it. Ta-da, you're done. Give yourselves a pat on the back. So smart, right? Easy peasy. That's all this is. What? Why would I make it harder? What? Okay, number 2. What's a little bit different about this picture? There's 2 different triangles. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on one triangle at a time. Okay, essentially they're like overlapping triangles. It's a triangle on top of another triangle. So we're going to start, and I'm going to look just at this left triangle right here. All right, now, if you're looking at that triangle on the left, what do you know about that triangle? There's a 90-degree angle right here. This is 90. The box is 90. Write that in. You also know another angle, which is what? 43. So how could I figure out angle 1 right here? And do what? Perfect. You're getting the gist of it. Now look, as I'm doing each problem, I'm going to write down which angle I'm doing, and then I'm going to show the work for it. So that way you know when you go back and look at your notes how you got each answer for each one. Okay. So I'm going to take 180 and I'm going to subtract 90 and 43. I will never tell you that this box means 90 degrees. You have to know that. All right. So when I add 90 and 43 together, what do you get? 133. And if you subtract that from 180, 47, I like that Kiki said, degrees. So my first angle is 47 degrees. You can write it in the picture if you want, right into the angle. There's my first one. Beautiful. Now, you've got the triangle on the left all finished. But now the triangle on the right, there are 2 unknown angles. Angle 2 and angle 3. I do give you this really small angle is 12 degrees. But I still have to figure out angle 2 and angle 3. What do you think we're going to do? What ideas do you have? Sorry, I was drinking. What do you think? No ideas? Okay, that's an idea. The 12 and the 47. Why would you do that, Kiki? Because what? They have the same value. What do you mean? Okay, so Kiki's saying, you're saying combine these two. Okay, so she's saying if you combine these two, that will give you the whole angle, right? Because you do have one whole big triangle here. You got two small triangles and then the one really, really big one, which includes both of them. Okay, so Kiki's saying, hey, if I add together these two, I get 59 degrees. That's this whole angle right here. Well, what does that help me with then? Which one does it help me find? So look, think about it as this whole thing is a triangle. The whole thing. So if I'm looking at that whole triangle, you already know this whole angle right here is 59 degrees. This whole thing's 59. Yellow was not a good choice. That's not a good choice at all. The whole thing's 59 degrees. Of that same triangle, what other angle do you know in that big yellow triangle? You know 90. Yeah. So you've got 90 degrees here. You've got this whole thing is 59 degrees. Could you figure out what angle 3 is?
Yes.
Yeah, by doing what? Yeah, exactly. Add the two numbers together and subtract them from 180. So the whole angle right here is 59. So to figure out angle 3, I'm going to take 180 and I'm going to subtract the two pieces that I know, which is 90 and the whole thing is 59. And that's going to give me angle 3. Good. What do you get when you add those together and then subtract? You get what? 31 what? Degrees. Okay, so look, now you already have another angle. You know this one's 31. So if you look at the whole triangle, the whole thing, right, in yellow, the whole thing, I'm going to ignore this line. I'm going to ignore these two little pieces here, okay? If you're looking at this whole big triangle, you've got the 90-degree angle here, right in the corner. The other part that you have is this whole full angle right here, and it's the whole thing. So it includes the 47 and the 12. So in total, this whole angle is 59 degrees. And then I use the same idea that all three angles always have to equal 180 degrees. So what I've done is I've taken 180 and I'm subtracting the 90 and the 59, and that's going to give me what's left over here as angle 31. Zarian, yes? Now you can figure out what 2 is. Exactly. Yes. So now that I've got those two pieces, if I now just look at the purple triangle here, right here, the purple one, you know 2 of the angles in that purple triangle. What are they? Now be careful, it's not 59.
12.
It's 12. It's 12 and 31. So how could you figure out angle 2? Add those and subtract from 180. Now, let me give you another way that you could do this. These two angles right here, 43 and angle 2, are right next to each other. They make a straight line. How much is that total straight line? 180. You already know 43 of the 180. So you can subtract 43 from 180, and that'll give you angle 2. But guess what else? If you add 31 and 12 together, what do you get? You get 43. Yes, notice how it's the same thing. Wild, right? Wild. So you could do it either way. You can just subtract this 43, or you can add these two together and subtract from 180. Do you remember what this is called right here? when they're right next to each other in a straight line? They are supplementary, but starts with an L. Linear pair. There you go. Linear pair. All right, so to figure out angle 2, I'm just going to take 180 and I'm going to subtract 43. All right, when I subtract those, I get 137 degrees. Beautiful. So notice there's a lot of ways to get to the same answer. That's the cool part about math. You can do it in multiple ways. Are you ready to try one on your own? Yeah, you are. Yeah, try number 3. Go for it. I believe in you. It looks exactly the same. Yeah. Yeah. Do one piece at a time. All right, try number 3. Talk to people at your table. Try number 3. Give it a go. Yes, babe. Beautiful. Look at you. You can go start on the back if you want. Oh my gosh, look at you. Then chill out. And just check your work with ours when you're done. Take 30 more seconds. All right, check your work with mine.
Exactly. I was about to say.
So first thing I did, the first one I figured out was angle 1. I added 60 and then subtracted from 180. That gave me angle 1. The second one I figured out was angle 3 because I knew it was a straight line. So I took 84 away from angle or from 180 and I got 96 for angle 3. And then I did the exact same thing to figure out angle 2. I took the two angles, 96 and 43, combined them together, and subtracted from 180. So notice it's a lot of the same thing over and over and over again. You're taking your pieces and subtracting from 180. Yes, Juan? How'd you get 30? Do you mind repeating that? Which one? The 30? Yeah. Okay. Number 3. Angle 3. This 3. Okay. So I said this right here is a straight line. These two angles are right next to each other, right? So I'm using up 84 of the 180. Okay. So to figure out what was left over, I took 180 and subtracted the 84. And that gave me what's left over is the 96. Okay. And then once you have two angles in the triangle, I added this plus this, subtracted from 180, and that gave me angle 2. Hmm? Not always, but in this particular instance, yes. You don't have to go in order. No one's forcing you to go in order. You do whichever one's easier to find. Good question. Look, it's like our third example. So if you guys made a mistake, it's all good. It's okay. So just starting. It's a brand new concept. I don't expect you to get it on the first try. All right, ready for the next one?
So when they're next to each other, so you forget about the 66 and the 43, right?
Yep, I just ignored them.
Focus on the angles that are next to it, right?
Yep.
And then you am I talking to you? No, but for real, that's
Yeah.
Okay.
You just ignore them. If there's something you don't need, I just put my hands over it and I ignore it.
But what if I did it from the top, though? But I can't, because it's
It's not
not 180.
180,
Okay.
right? So you can only do it when you've got a straight line.
Okay. Give me the next one.
Okay. Here's the next one, number 4. Now, which one is the easiest one to figure out? The top. Angle 1 is the easiest. How should I figure out angle 1?
61 plus 68 minus 180.
Subtracted from 180. Exactly. That's the easiest one. Add this together, subtract from 180. Okay, when you add them together, you get 129. And when I subtract, I get 51 degrees. Okay, so angle 1 is 51 degrees. Easy peasy, right? Down and simple. Now, in my other triangle at the bottom, I've got a little bit of a problem. What's my problem? Is it what? A negative? 90. Yes, good. This angle right here is a 90 degrees. Beautiful. But I'm still missing angle 2 and angle 3. So that's not fun. Darren, what do you think? What is that called? Who's at it? Horatio, yes! Vertical angles! Look at you. Okay, now let me tell you this truthfully. I will never tell you that vertical angles are congruent. You have to know that. Okay? These are vertical angles. Write that down. Vertical angles are congruent. So what is angle 2?
Angle 2 would be 29, right?
No.
No?
That's angle. You're doing angle 3.
Oh, my bad.
Angle 2 is the same. It's 61. And then, yes, you are correct. To figure out angle 3,
I just need to switch it up. No.
I take 90 and 61 and subtract it from 180. Again, it's like a lot of the same thing over and over and over and over and over.
Right.
Yes, you did get it right. Give yourself a pat on the back, Juan. Woo! Got it right. So, there are things that we've learned that you actually have to take that knowledge and apply it to other problems. Crazy, right? You can't just forget everything we've done. Whew. Okay, ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right, I believe in you guys. Number 5. This one is easy. Why is it easy, Zarian? Oh, it's just algebra. What should I do for this problem? So what are you doing with all of them? You're adding them all together, and then what? Equal them to the 180. Exactly, that's it. Add them together, set them equal to 180. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. 90% of you are going to forget to add this. What's this box?
90.
A 90 degrees. So when you go to add them together, you better make sure you add that 90 with it. Because if you forget it, your answer's wrong. And I'm telling you, most people forget that. Okay, I believe in you. And I want you to do some algebra right now. And then when you're done with this one, I also want you to try number 6. It's a lot of algebra. So you do the 2 algebra problems, we'll check them. Work with people at your table, I'll give you about 4 minutes.
Both of them.
4 for both. It should take you 2 minutes to do each one. Go. Cool. You've got a minute left. For 5 and 6. Both of them. You're done with 5, you better move on to 6. They look the same. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, friend. Friend. You're so close. Let's go. There you go. I'll get you guys already on the back. Oh, friend, come on. What? Oh. Take one more for each paper count and 6. Combine like terms. Everything that looks the same on the left, put them together. So on the left side, what can you put together? Okay, so put them together. Let's find out some digits. Okay, and then once you put it, cross it off. What are you doing, Frank? Okay. All right, now put all of your numbers together. You're on your phone. This is plus 90, where it looks like plus 100. Ooh. All right, now combine all of your numbers together on the left. So what numbers can you put together? Yeah. There you go. Put those all together on the left. Yes, my dear. But I think we could probably figure out this angle first if we want. This is right. One more moment.
Yes. You know someone?
Oh my gosh.
Bro, don't be like, I get really lost. I really don't know. I don't think bro.
Okay, good.
What is this?
Equals 180, bring that down. Okay, now you got all your x's over here, bring your number to this side, so this is minus 1. There you go. That's right. Well, that would, this would be this angle, not this angle. It's a different version of the same test. You feel me? All right, ready? Most of us look like we're ready. And a lot of us are on the back, which I love, and you guys are figuring it out, which is amazing. Okay, check your work with mine. Does yours look like mine? Yeah? I got a lot of handshakes, so. Did we at least set up the equation right? Like if the algebra is the problem, then that's something else we can fix easily. But at least setting up the equation's what's important. Okay, somewhat did. Well, you either did or you didn't. There's not really like a somewhat. All right, flip it to the back. And a lot of you are already on the back, which is amazing. But the back is a little bit different because, and so here's the thing, right? On the back, most of you guys are already figuring it out without knowing what the theorem is, but I still want you to know what the theorem itself says, and then there are multiple ways to solve this problem, okay? So this theorem talks about the x exterior angles of a triangle. What does exterior mean?
Outside.
Outside. Okay, so in this theorem, an exterior angle is formed when you take one side of the triangle and just extend it out a little bit further. So here's the side and it's being extended out a little bit further. An exterior angle is always equal to the sum of two non-adjacent interior angles. So here's all this means. This exterior angle out here, angle 1, is always equal to angle 2 plus angle 3. These two angles cannot be touching angle 1. Cannot be touching, okay? So if you add together angle 2 and angle 3, you will get the exterior angle. So the setup of the equation is your exterior angle is equal to your two interior angles added together. That's what the theorem says, but a lot of you guys are figuring it out by using that idea of a linear pair, and you can use that too. So there's a lot of ways to do each of these problems. So let's like breeze through them. Number 7. Which one is your exterior angle?
1.
Angle 1. So look, here's one thing you could do, and this is what a lot of you are doing. You guys are going, hey, I can figure out this angle right here by adding together 76 and 52 and subtracting from 180, and then taking that number and subtracting it from 180 again because it's a linear pair. That is one way you could do this problem. The other way you can do this problem is just add the two numbers together. So to figure out your exterior angle, you're going to add together your two interior angles. So what are your two interior angles you're going to add together? Yep, that's it. You just add them. And that is degrees. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That was easy, right? Just what do you mean there's always something else? No, there's not. What?
I'm with them.
What? Okay, so you're going to tell me that this one's harder? What should I do for number 8? Okay, so your equation needs to be your exterior angle is equal to your two interior angles added together. So what is your exterior angle? 104. That should equal your two interior angles added together. What are your two interior angles? 79. And I'm not going to put a 1 because I think if I put a 1, you guys are going to actually add 79 and 1 together. So I'm just going to put an x here. So that's my unknown. 79 plus x. So what is literally the only step you have to do? What? How do you get x by itself? How do you move the 79 over? You just subtract it. Yep. So this is like saying, hey, so here's another way to think about it. You could say, hey, 79 plus what number gives me 104? Or 104 minus 79 should give me angle 1. What is that? 25. That's it. It's not going to get harder than that because why would I ever do that to you?
Right.
Ready for the next one? Yes, you are. What are you talking about? See, you knew what? All you got to do for this one, you're doing the same thing, and guess what? Doesn't this look very similar to the ones on the front? Okay, so who can raise their hand and give me one of these angles that they could figure out really, really quickly? Aiden, what do you think? Well, figure out just one to start. Okay, angle 1. How could you figure out angle 1, Aiden? No. Because if I do, wait, what did you say?
180 minus 180.
Oh, 180 minus 118. I'm sorry, I thought you said it the other way. Yes, good, because this is what right here? It's a straight line. It's a linear pair. Yeah. So to find angle 1, I'm just going to take 180 minus 118. And what do you get when you do that, Aiden? 62 what? Beautiful. Stop. That wasn't harder. You just figured one out. Okay, now what's another one you know for sure? Angle 2 is really easy now. How do I figure out angle 2? And then? Take that number minus 180. Yeah, because this is a triangle. So now look, now we're using both theorems here. So to figure out angle 2, we're going to take 180 and we're going to subtract the two numbers that we know in the triangle, 62 and 73. You what? 45 degrees. And now, how are we going to figure out angle 3?
180 minus 73 to get the angle next to 29.
Good. So this angle over here is another linear pair. Again. So we take 180 and we subtract 73, and that's going to give me this little piece in here. What is that when you subtract those two? 107 degrees. And now it should be easy to figure out angle 3 up here. What do I have to do to figure out angle 3? And then take it from 180. So do you notice that we're doing like the same thing over and over and over and over again? Like it's the same thing. It's not changing. And when you do that, you will get 24 degrees. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We're a little bit running out of some time, but I think you can finish the last 3. Okay. So in number 10, you're using that idea of a linear pair to help you solve all of your unknown angles. Number 11 is just algebra. The only one I want you to look at really quickly is number 12. Because in number 12, I only give you one equation. You know in number 12, you have to add together your two interior angles to get your exterior angle, but you're only given one interior angle. What is the other interior angle? Why? They look the same and they've got one arc mark each, which means they are congruent. They're exactly the same. So since this one down here is 7x plus 2, what is this one right here? Okay, so your equation should be your two interior angles added together should equal your exterior angle. So let's just write the equation for number 12. What would that equation look like? 7x plus 2 plus 7x plus 2 equals what? 17x minus 23. Okay, so I would like you to finish those last 3. We will check those 3 tomorrow. I know some of you are already done with it, which is fantastic. Huh? Yes, I can go back to number 9. Go like this. Okay, so you're going to finish those last ones up. Tomorrow, if again you need to retake your test, make sure your test corrections are done before you come in tomorrow, because if you do not have test corrections, you are not retaking the test. And if you are not retaking the test, then I need you to bring an electronic device for tomorrow, because there's some online practice that we have for tomorrow. You guys did a fabulous job today. Just fabulous.